Hey everybody, it is just me, Jeff, and my beautiful young daughter, Gracie Ann. How's everybody doing tonight? If you're online, make sure that you say something to us. I want to do a daddy-daughter talk time, but since she's getting older, it's kind of hard to sit there and read to her in her bed anymore since she doesn't stay put long enough.
What?
And she doesn't exactly sleep in her bed. The child, I swear up and down, wanders everywhere. But I shouldn't tell you all of her deepest, darkest secrets, like how she farts. Anyway. Anyway, we... Okay. Anyway, you all know that we like to have a lot of fun together and everything else, so I thought we would share tonight daily reflections. We used to do them all the time, if you remember. We actually still do a lot of stuff. We just do it... in the privacy, but the older kids get and everything else. One of the things though I try to teach Gracie, and like I try to teach a lot of other people, is that growing up, she matters and she knows I love her, and she knows I think the world of her. However, a lot of people, they always wonder, what are things you can do with your kids? What are things that you can do that don't cost money? Because let's face it, it's 2019, and there's all kinds of questions that people have. They're always, let's face it, as parents, we never know if we're doing a good job or not, and we're never gonna know. That's not the point. Just like you matter and that you make a difference in somebody else's life, you're not supposed to know. And the reason why is you just do your best, and hopefully that things work out good. You have to take every hurdle as they come. So tonight, since I had Gracie here, and it was a beautiful day outside, and we went over to the park and everything, and we did hoverboards, and Gracie fell off. I didn't fall off. I swear up and down I didn't fall off. I didn't fall off. I swear up and down it was her. It's her. Okay, it was me. I fell off. I just like to do different things with her, because she is you're 11 years old now. And can you believe that my friend Joanne reminded me today that I will be 40 this year, believe it or not. But, numbers are just an age.
39.
I'm 39. I was born in 79. Numbers are just an age. And anyway, with the daily reflections and everything else, make sure you take time out with your kids. Make sure that you tell them you love them. Tell them how much they mean to you. And I know a lot of us grew up in families and stuff that we were, we had all the love in the world. But sometimes you may have had somebody that, they just assumed you knew it. Or you learn about that kind of stuff in school, or you had the hardcore love, or the over-affectionate love. I love you so much, you can't leave me, ever! Anyway, stuff like that. But then it just has to become with a happy medium somewhere. Always try to teach your kids about your family, about where they come from. Always teach your kids that, families aren't always blood. Sometimes there's adoption, sometimes it's aunts and uncles, sometimes it's just friends. I've got a lot of friends I feel that are family members of mine, because growing up, my aunts and uncles, my mom and dad, we had friends all over this. I didn't know the friends from family. And yes, I got a big family, but I didn't know the difference between friends and family. So to me, they're all family. And to this day, I do my best to stay in touch with each and every one of them. Anyway, this is really not anything other than teach your kids, pray with your kids, let them know you love them, teach them. I just saw one of my cousins, a distance cousin of mine, Tyler, come on here, and it was something I was getting ready to say anyway. Take your kids out to the country, let them get around cattle, let them know what sheep are, go to the fairs and stuff, let them know what horses are. If you want to, take a trip into the country. I guarantee you that the farmers are not going to get mad if you go and look at their cattle, because to them, they see them every day. But if you go out there, you know how much kids love cattle and horses and everything. Participate in the events in the different communities and everything. But tonight, just know this. Each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you makes a difference. From the truck driver on the road to the mechanic out there, you need to learn to forgive those that have hurt you, learn to forgive those that you have hurt, and learn to forgive yourself. And the reason why is because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And sometimes there are people that are fighting cancer. I see her moving her hand back there slowly. I'm trying to figure out what she's getting ready to do to me, because she thinks I'm not paying any attention. She's trying to give me rabbit ears. This is what I have to do. This is why you know it's alive. Yeah, Tyler, you do this with your daughter, Tyler, and she'll probably get you good. I'll tell you what, though. Everybody I know, they're great parents. Every one of us, we parent differently. But you do need to know that you matter. You do need to know to thank a truck driver, thank the garbage man, thank your mailman, Don't take people's professions for granted just because you think it's either beneath you or above you. Because one day you don't know if that person there is happy or if they're ecstatic. You know, we don't know where they're at, but you know, you can thank them for their service, because without their services that they do, our world would not run as smoothly as it does. You know, it's better than being in the dark age where everybody crowd around the kitchen and the stove, and you win the other room, you get frostbite, or you die of freezing to death. So, you know, we got it good nowadays. And there are people out there that are struggling with addictions. There's people out there struggling with depression. Yeah.
Wait. It's not frostbite, it's frostbite. You said bit. You didn't bit it.
See what I gotta deal with?
Yeah.
See what happens? Don't y'all miss her when she was like that little girl that never talked? Oh, wait a minute. You guys think I wish I was that little boy that never talked, but I talked a lot when I was a boy, too! Tell you, a lot of my friends and stuff, they went out to Las Vegas for a trip, and that was pretty awesome. They're getting ready to go to Cabo. We're getting ready to give you a quick rundown of 2019, why I wanted my daughter here. 2019 is going to be extra special because we took on so much stuff in 2018, good, bad. We just decided to go all out. Well, 2019, how do you top 2018? Easy. We're going to basically do more. Hopefully we'll get up with Ray Wilson and the Optimist Club, and we're going to try our best to do even more, if you'll allow us to do even more with the Soapbox Derby. Fishing for Freedom's coming up, you know, in June. We get even more military out there. Just in case Soapbox Derby is to help kids and everything, but they're really fun soapboxes. We got a lot of stuff planned.
I have a question. What about 2020?
2020 is even bigger.
2020 can be like the 2020 show.
2020 is special in my book, even though we're at 2019 right now, is because our CEO, Jeff Bell, for the last 5 years, we've got special stuff coming, but that's more helping even more people. But right now for 2019, we've got the fairs coming up, we've got Soapbox Derby's coming up,
The fair's coming up
the
already?
Saddle Club's going to be doing stuff with horses.
Wait.
The fair's in July, August time frame. You still got about 6 months, 7 months before that's in here.
But I have a question. So is every single fairs there like 2 fairs? So
No, you have your local fair, which is the Adams County Fair, which is over in Mendon, Illinois, and then we have the state fair, which is over in Springfield. But other states have their fairs.
I don't go to state fair. I thought there was 2 fairs.
I think I should take it to the state fair this year.
Yeah.
But I want everybody to know this. This year is going to be better than ever. And if you need help, if you're feeling low, just need somebody to talk to, you want somebody that can talk to you just so you need something to occupy your time because you're feeling lonely, feeling depressed, feeling down and out, don't. God made you who you were for a reason. Okay? Each and every one of you has a distinct position in this world. In other words, each one of you is a cog in a bigger machine. And I forgot the name of it, but you can't see it. But the thing about it is, if you go talk to everybody else and you know what their positions are, after a while you start to see what the bigger machine is. In other words, there's an old story about an elephant. And yes, I did get this on a series of unfortunate events, but I knew it before. And there was 6 blind guys who went up to the elephant. One guy felt the side of the elephant. Okay? He said it's a wall. Okay? Another guy came up and he felt the trunk of the elephant. And he goes, oh, it's a snake. Another guy felt the tail of the elephant. If you know, it's a little flurry thing. And he thought it was some type of a plant or bush. Okay? Then another guy, he basically felt the leg and couldn't get his arms. He thought it was a tree. Because it's heavy and it's a tree. Another guy came up and he felt the skin texture, everything, and so on and so forth. But needless to say, when they all got together and they talked about it, they actually could put it and they could see that it was an elephant. But the whole point is, just because you don't know where you're at in life, you don't see the bigger picture, doesn't mean there's not a bigger picture. And, it doesn't matter if you're religious, if you're atheist, agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're non-denominational. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, a Jew, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, black, white. It doesn't matter. And so many people, they like to throw all those little, they need to have that quick shot in there. And to us, we don't put those quick shots in there. We basically look at everybody as equals, and if something comes out of our mouth, we know that we don't mean it in a derogatory way. I'm a Marine. I'm sorry. We say things sometimes that make each other laugh, and we don't care about political correctness around us. I come from a family of farmers and of, good old boys. And they're of every color you can imagine. And trust me, they don't care. All they care about is you're a good person and that you have good conversation and you got a cold drink. And sometimes, we got to get back to basics. So,
oh, no, my ball.
anyway, as I was saying, Gracie and I just wanted to join you tonight. Gracie, get over here.
I had to get something.
And she's trying to get her fidget or her putty stuff here.
Yes.
So tonight and whenever else, if you see us, just know that we care about you. Just know that you matter. And if you're on the road tonight driving in a truck, you know what? You are very important. If you are one of those people, if you're a doctor or a nurse that's at the hospital tonight, just know this. You are awesome and outstanding. If you're a police officer and a firefighter, an EMT worker, look, I may not get them all, but you understand you're all in that category. You are heroes. If you're the men and the women of the military that are basically serving this country, whether you're in a support role or a combat role, or whether you're overseas or whether you're on the front lines, you matter and you are very, very important, and you do mean the world to everybody. Okay, we don't have to go out of our way to show it because you should already know it. Okay. For people that I miss, like the teachers, basically the heroes of the world, our teachers, our professors, our mediators, our mentors, our leaders. Each and every one of you matters. So on that note, with my daughter yawning, because I can go a little bit longer than what I want, I just want each and every one of you to know that you matter. You're important. Men and women in the military, if you ever feel lonely inside, you matter. You are important. All my Marine Corps brothers and sisters out there, hey, we're going to find you if you're down and out. Just give us time to get to you. You got to hold on. I know that the ones that feel they're the loneliest are the ones who no longer reach out, but you got to hold on. I promise you we'll find you. It just takes time. The system works. It just takes time. And each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you, whether you're religious or not, pray for each other. Wish good tidings upon each other. Go out there and teach your kids kindness. Teach them not to be scared of things. Teach them, that it's okay to fall down over and over and over again. Because guess what? You can only be successful once in the area you're trying to be successful in. Everything else is the work up to it. So know this. Each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you is important. If you're fighting a disease, if you're fighting cancer, diabetes, whether you're fighting AIDS, whether you're fighting Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's, muscular dystrophy, hey, you guys are doing better than some of the lazy teenagers out there now that don't want to get off the couch. And I say that in respect because as parents and as mentors, we need to encourage our children and encourage those people, take away their phone and start teaching them good skills, teaching them that hard work pays off, teaching them that reading a book will benefit them, maybe not right now, but later on down the line. Teach them to go back in old school and write letters and become pen pals. I have so many awesome friends from all over the world. People always think I'm talking to people in my hometown. I know more people outside my hometown than are actually in my hometown. My hometown has around 40,000 people, and I've been blessed and courteous for people from all over the world, every make, model, shape, and size. And I promise you, each one of them is just as important as the next, and there's not one single person any different from the other. And it's just we have to see our true callings. We have to see our true belief systems. So know this tonight. I love each and every one of you. You're a great person. You're great. You're awesome. Yeah. I think Mike just got on. Would y'all like to say hi to Mike? Should I bring Mike on board? Here, I'll bring Mike on. I think if Mike's watching, we're going to try to bring Mike on here. I'm going to bring Mike on here real quick. Mike came on. Mike's out in California. And his family's overseas, but Mike is an honorable Navy person. But I tell you what, that's not how I know Mike. I know Mike for being an awesome dad. I know Mike for being an awesome family member, somebody that loves his brothers and sisters, and that understands that we're all going to have problems. We're all going to have difficulties. We're all going to get through life. But you know what? What makes it the best is that struggle. And now the mic's on. I see one of my Marine Corps brothers came on, Richard Correa. Also, Aaron Bell, Tyler Schaefer. How you doing, Richard? I'm sorry. I'm so still. Mike, would you agree with me? When you get knowing people in the military, you do not know their first names, and even when you call them their first name, it still sounds weird. Would you agree with me on that? It's like, I don't know your first name. How you doing, Rich? I'm gonna bring on Cree here, see if he'll take on my acceptance. Maybe not, but anyway, Aaron Bell, how you been, buddy? I love Aaron. Aaron's a great guy. Angie's awesome. Angela, how you doing? How you doing, Angie? So anyway, the whole point of tonight, Mike, can you talk? Can I hear you? Say something, Mike. I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
you can hear me.
Oh,
Sorry,
there
sorry.
he is. He does have a voice. Look, it's the voice of the people. Of course, people that are in an outhouse going to the bathroom, but that's okay. That's besides the point. And he's not a diabetic. He just vapes all the time. Uh, anyway, the reason why I use Mike is Mike's out in California. I'm here in the Midwest, and other than us having a military bond, there's not much else we know about each other. But I tell you what, I go to fight with that guy any day of my life. There are a lot of people that we don't always see eye to eye, but I've got their back. They may be a Democrat, they may be Republican, they may be third, fourth party, they may be straight, they may be gay, maybe Catholic, Muslim. I don't care. If they're good people, I got their back because that's their freedom, that's their right, and I don't want to intrude on their rights. I don't want to intrude on somebody else's freedom, just like I don't want anybody intruding on my freedom and my daughter's freedoms. But this is not what this is about. This is about you. This is about each and every one of you knowing you matter, knowing you're important. And I know tonight, if it's a Saturday night and you're on here listening to me, something kept you at home tonight, or something brought you on there. And I'm not a minister or preacher by any means, but I'll tell you what. I just want you to go away tonight knowing whatever's going on in your life, just shut your eyes, count backwards from 20, and start remembering the positive stuff, and that will get you through to tomorrow. And when you wake up in the morning, the best thing I ever heard, when you wake up in the morning, do a countdown in your life. Start going 5, 4, and you have to get up in that 5 second time frame. Because if you don't, you're going to talk yourself out of getting out of bed. You're going to talk yourself down. You're going to talk yourself into negativity. Don't turn on the news. I'll tell you what, I did turn on the news the other day, and I was actually happy about something. They got the guy that got the USS Cole. They actually finally got him. And to me, that was freaking awesome. Kind of like when we got Osama bin Laden. But that's a personal victory from my men and women in the Marine and the military and in the Navy and everything that got hurt because of that.
I like a car.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Who are you
Oh,
talking?
sorry about that. Sorry, Sarge. Somebody just came up to me and said, "I like your car," so I have to say thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
I sorry.
I
I didn't
like
mean
your
to
car.
interrupt.
I've never seen it, but I like your car too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just some four-wheeler that rolls down the street. No big deal.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
How are you, Sarge?
I'm doing great tonight. How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, hey, I have a lot of people listening to you now, and what you have to say is really important to a lot of people.
So should I teach them what not to do to their kids? Like, don't take them like this, and don't give them nothing.
Oh, that's what bonding is all about.
That stuff. I'm just showing what not to do. This is corrective criticism, right? And oh, I better not do that. She's at the age now where you get her hyper and she keeps going. Dang it! I forgot to just round her up. Okay. Sit. How old's your kid now, Mike?
He's 8 years old, Sarge.
Oh, just wait, buddy. Eight's a good life. Wait till they get to be like 11, and they start trying to overpower you. You see, they don't care. They have no respect for their elders. I'm gonna have to
You
go to
know,
Italy and get back, and we have to bring back, belt on a shelf, not elf on a shelf. I agree. No, the biggest reason why you need to be in your kids' lives, and what I tell everybody, even if it's just for a moment, is sometimes you being in your child's life will help them overcome fears you don't even know they have. And I know that I put Gracie through a lot of stuff, and everybody's like, "Why?" But you'll always see me with that stuff. And that's just because I just want to be there for her life, because one day I know she's going to have friends.
No,
I won't allow it, but she's going to have them. And one day daddy's not going to be important anymore to where they're going to the mall. So the times I can do now, I'm cherishing. So I teach each and every one of you. I try to let you know. And, I try to live by example. Do what you can with them today. Smother them in love if you have to.
Hey,
but teach them that
can I show them how to juggle?
No.
Oh, wait.
Show them that hard work pays off. That nothing in life is for free, and you should never tell your kids they can get whatever they want just because they can get it. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. You can never teach your kids they can have whatever they want, because if they do that, they're going to go the rest of their life thinking, "Oh, you know what? I can do." No, you need to teach them they can do whatever they want with hard work, but it's not going to be handed to them. And if something is starting to get handed to us, we need to really evaluate our system and what is going on, because there's nothing in life for free, and it shouldn't be. It's small victories every day that make us push harder for the next day. You know, not everybody's going to be the CEO of Walmart. Not everybody's going to be, you know, those high powered doctor or lawyer. But if you believe it enough and you want it enough, you always have that opportunity to go for it the harder you work. And I'm one of those people. If you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. Period. If you don't put in the work, why on earth should you get paid? And there's a lot of great people out there that are always willing to go where you're at today, and they're going to work hard in order to take over your position. So work hard, push, and then she just stubbed her toe. So anyway, I personally am a Catholic, but my friends come from every walk of life. I'm a big believer in Mary and in Jesus, but you know, everybody's like, well, why don't I push that on people? Leaders don't push anything. Leaders do not sit there and force you to do anything you don't want to do. They don't have to go up and tell you have to do this or you're going to, you know. What a leader does is the same thing as a parent does. We lead by example. We show them what not to do. We show them what to do. And if they have questions later on, we answer the questions. But at no time should anybody ever be forced. At no time should everybody, you know, have a gun to your head saying you have to do this or have to do that. But a true leader, instead of whipping you to death, just like there's a thing on Facebook, a diagram, it shows a manager on a concrete slab with a bunch of people pulling, like you would see the Egyptians or, you know, those old diagrams. And that manager's whipping the crap out of him, go, go, but he's on top of the border. Then it shows a leader in front of everybody and nobody on top of the rock, because we get there faster, better, and we can do it better if everybody's together as a team. Leaders are not actually the head of anything. A leader is the person that brings everybody together in order to accomplish the mission. We just need a point man. That's all it is a point man. It doesn't mean they're better, doesn't mean they make more, doesn't mean they do anything. So anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. And Gracie wants to show y'all something, then she's going to try to juggle.
So,
can I give her like chainsaws to juggle? Oh boy, this could take all night.
I don't know where to go.
Oh my goodness, Sarge.
Each and every one of you, you guys are all in our hearts and prayers tonight. We'll say a prayer for everybody. I promise you, you're going to get a Hail Mary, whether you like it or not. You're going to get the Lord's Prayer, whether you like it or not. And you're going to have somebody out there caring about you, whether you like it or not. But remember this. You've made a difference in everybody's life. You've made a difference in people's lives and the lives around you. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean you haven't done it. Just know you matter. Just know you're important. And just know that this. Two more things. One, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. A buddy of mine today put on Facebook showing rotten fruit. If you put a piece of moldy fruit in with good fruit, what happens to it? It spreads. It spreads to all the other fruit. And guess what? That's what happens if you get around negative people. You yourself will or are already becoming negative. So you have to go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Go where people think the world of you, whether they understand you or not. And stay away from the people that they live off of other people's miseries. And the last thing basically is this. Don't give up on yourself. Make tomorrow better than today. Make the outcome the way you want it. And if you have put the blame on yourself. I know people say, oh, I don't want, no, you have to put the blame on yourself. There's always something more you can do. There's always something you can do better. There's always a different path you can take. There is always a way out. It's just in our minds, sometimes we don't feel like there is a way out. And
I have a question, Sarge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're on question and answer time. All right, Mr.
Yes, this is Q&A, Sarge. This is Q&A. Now, Sarge, you know, basically I call you Sarge for a reason because, you know, you are United States Marine Corps. And
don't let him tell you that. He's doing it off a fulfillment where you're on the bottom eating grub on the bottom. That fish, that's a bottom dweller, you know?
So here's my question, Sarge. You are with Legal Shield, correct?
Of course.
And how long have you been with Legal Shield, Sarge?
2014.
What can you say about Legal Shield to our veterans?
Nothing right now because this is not what this is about.
Oh man, this is not what it's about. Okay, well I'll catch you another time, Sarge.
I don't do remember this because I sit on 14 different volunteer groups. yes, Legal Shield, I do that because I help out military veterans because it's the only system where they can actually use us and also use JAG at the same time. But we actually do more good for military men. I'm part of it for to help out military men and women because the system's broken for them. And that's the reason why I'm part of what I do is because it gave me a platform in order to help people. But people like the areas I help people are with like military men and women of the military. I help out small families, factory workers, truck drivers. And if you look at a truck driver compared to somebody in the military, they're all the same. Uh, Basically, they know their profession, but they have a lot of extra time on their hands where there's nobody around where they can either think positive or negative. And so my job is to, just help people that can't get help because nobody wants to help them. The legal field's very tough for military because they don't understand it. So that's the reason why I do military and legal shield with what I do. But as far as stuff like this, like I said, this is just to let people know that they matter, let people know they care, let them know that they make a difference in other people's lives. Because I work with veterans every day in the different groups like the Marine Corps League. And like I was telling everybody the other day, there was already 4 within 2 weeks that committed suicide. And one of them was my personal commandant of the United States Marine Corps League 740, who brought me into the Marine Corps League. And, I see it every day. The problems just mount and mount and mount. And all these different groups, I do get to see how bad PTSD is with people, but I can't understand it because mine's not that bad. And some of my brothers, their PTSD is bad, but I do what I do because if I can reach somebody and let them know they're important matter, that might be the one decision that changes their direction of life. But we'll
Got
never,
another question, Sarge.
yeah.
You said something about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
How do you cope?
One day at a time. Small steps. Small steps. If you go out and do anything drastic, think it'll help. It won't. Believe it or not, I'm one of those big believers that over-the-counter medication that doctors prescribe to you for PTSD and stuff like that doesn't work. I think it makes the men and women. Now, some I'm sure it does work for, but I think others it depresses them even more. I think it's just giving them a way out, or just trying to make them feel better, and they that's why they prescribe stuff. But time will heal. But honestly, look at the Korean War vets, the Vietnam War vets. They're still suffering to this day. So, but what they did is they found out you have to have small victories every day, such as making your bed when you get up in the morning, writing a good resume, pushing to get that next sale, going in to get that job, keeping your, idle hands is a devil playground. But if you take too much time and sit there and ponder, some of the people will never come back once they get it. It's almost like an addiction to heroin. You take it one time and you're done. You're addicted. So a lot of guys, if they stop, is when they get depressed, is because they have to have something to do in order for their mind not to. But over time, if you talk it out, uh, it'll never go away. I'm not going to sit there and tell people that their pain and hurting is going to go away. It's not. It's like when I lost my mom. You're never going to get those people back. You're never going to get that time back. But it's the small victories we do every day that make us feel better or make us know that we're in the right direction of making life better. Maybe not for ourselves, but maybe for somebody else. And that's what we need to do, make life better for somebody else. But with PTSD, a lot of guys, they turn to the bottle. They drink a lot. They do crazy drugs every once in a while. They're doing everything to get whatever in their mind control, and they're not do it. But if they stop, is when they're going to go downhill fast. So what we have to do is just every day let them know they mattered. Call up a friend, call up a family. That's the reason why I say, that buddy you said, oh, let's go play cards another time. Those are the guys those are the people you got to call today, or that mom or dad that, think how the elderly get depressed. All of a sudden, we live our own lives. It's cats in the cradle thing. If you know that song, cats in the cradle with the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. Anyway, it's basically the parent had no time for the child. However, when the parent did have time for a child, Now the child was an adult and no longer had time for the parent, and that can be used on a whole variety of things. You can't wait till tomorrow to do what you want to do today. You cannot just put off calling somebody tomorrow because they may not be around. Even if it's just old age, and somebody dies of old age, or you don't know if somebody's suffering from cancer and not telling anybody. I tell people this every day because it's not just military, it's everybody. And we just never know who we're talking to. That person that had a bad attitude in the grocery store or something, you may not have known, but he may have just got served with divorce papers. He may have just lost his mom or his dad or his best friend. Well, maybe he had a reason for it. And so, that's the best way to look at it.
I have a question.
How's my daughter have a question now? Yeah.
Okay, so I actually lost my ball.
I know, I saw it go behind you.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, I went longer than what I should have, and I apologize. If you bear with me, I'd like to say a quick prayer for everybody. And I always joke around with Father Jim Wheeler. He always says that I can get, anybody can give a blessing, anybody else. But, just tonight, if you're religious, or even if you're not, just a moment of silence for knowing that you matter. But I want to say a quick prayer with you. Okay, so how I start as in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God in heaven, I know that not everybody believes in you, and I know that not everybody follows the path of righteousness. But there's people out there tonight that are working hard. They're heroes. The doctors, the police officers, the firefighters, the nurse practitioners, people that are working tonight hard. But then there's people that are lonely in their heart. And at one time, the disciples were the biggest cowards in the world until you sent them the Holy Spirit. Please allow these people to be leaders of men and women. Allow them to get till tomorrow. Give them that inner peace that they need in order to get through another day. Be with those family members that have kids, that their kids grow up big and strong. Be with the good people in the world that they're just trying to get by. Most of all, please know that, let them know that they matter and they are important. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Father Jim pointed something out to me the other day when I tell everybody to forgive themselves and ask forgiveness for others. That's part of the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our sins, and forgive us those who trespass against us. In other words, we're already asking forgiveness. Anyway, tonight, everybody, I'm blessed to have my daughter. I'm blessed to have each and every one of you as a friend. And I just want the best for each and every. Never be a stranger. Say hi when you see me, even if I seem like I'm busy. But if you ever need help, if you ever need a friend, don't ever hesitate. I'm always here for you. And if I'm not, I'll find somebody to be there for you. Anyway, God bless everybody. We'll talk very soon. Grace, you want to say everybody bye?
Oh.
You actually have to get off the floor. What's your deal?
Okay, they're right there.
All right. Anyway, from Gracie and I,
Right there.
have a wonderful evening, and make tomorrow better than you did today. Have a good one, everybody.